Poetic beats. Poetic beats.
This is First GenXers.
Poetic beats. Poetic beats.
Hello, y'all. Hello, and welcome to today's edition of the Cheap Pop Podcast. Today we are starting out with just myself and Rune Scryer, and we're here to talk some pop culture, have some fun, and get some wrestling talk in there too. Got a review of Triple Mania coming up. We're gonna get into some video game talk, a little bit of a little bit of Raw, SmackDown, some information about Max Payne and about Sony as well. So we got plenty on the board for today. Saints should be joining us a little bit later. We're going to kick off, as usual, with our pop culture quiz. All right. So this is a question you may know here, Room Scribe. You may not. But if you and the audience know, please be sure to let us know in the comment section. Who is the lead singer of the band Coldplay? And what name does he go by? All right. So we'll get back to that question in a minute. There it is for y'all who missed it, if you want to try to answer in the comments. All right. So this story is brought to us by Dave. It's a story about an R-rated adaptation that they did in graphic novel form, I believe, correct? It wasn't a...
Yeah.
It wasn't a comic series. Graphic novel form of an iconic 80s family favorite franchise is moving forward. And what we are talking about is getting a live action version of the TMNT, what do they call it? Like Elseworld story?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin.
Right. But I'm saying it was like, it's an alternate timeline story.
Right. It's an alternate, it's the old man Logan for the Turtles.
Okay.
Where it's a dark post-apocalyptic future, and there's just one turtle left.
Okay.
And he is continuing the fight against the Foot Clan. And the thing is that when you're reading through The Last Ronin, you don't know which one of the brothers survives.
Okay.
Which one of the brothers it is.
They don't ever show you until what, towards the end?
Until the end, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Good storytelling. You can tell an entire story without really knowing who your protagonist is. And then reveal, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but I think, Last Ronin, Kevin Eastman was a part of that. Peter Laird is pretty much just living his life and letting the royalties come in for whatever.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'll say it like this. The idea of The Last Ronin was a great concept, you know, and regardless of which one of the four turtles it turns out to be, it's still a compelling story. Because at the end of the day, you have the story of loss, the story of you know what I'm saying, pain and
Yeah.
working through that pain
Yeah.
being the last
So
remaining of your
yeah, I
life.
mean, it's not just like Old Man Logan. It is the film Logan with
Oh,
all that heartbreak involved
okay.
in aging, in losing, in trying to rediscover the purpose that you were fighting for,
Right.
reliving that dream,
Years down the
willing
line.
to, yeah, you know, it's a complete end of life story arc.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
insane. Like that is truly insane. Like I don't know. I'll say it like this. Sometimes I watch the old cartoons that I used to watch when I was a kid.
yeah.
Yeah, a prime example. Just the other day, I was watching Thundercats randomly on Prime Video, and I'm like, they really told us some good stories back in our
Mhm.
day. Like, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, Ed, Ed and Eddie is a great show. You know, like these shows that came out when we were like in our mid 20s, early to mid 20s. They're all right, but they just don't tell stories the way those original
Um,
shows.
yes and no. Yes and no.
Okay.
Um, like I think that the 2011 Thundercats revival
Mm,
series that just didn't get a chance. It was just starting to find its legs near the end of the first season. It
gotcha.
just
That's when they
took too. It just took too long
gotcha.
to, excuse me, get going. But it was telling a really good story up to that point. You know, season one is usually, you know, setting it's setting up the universe.
Yeah.
It's preparing for season two to expand on the story, but of course Hollywood is, you know, they're so one and done with so many things. You really
Yeah.
have to rush to get to the points in order to
And
get that next season's.
see, and that's where I think that, like I said, I agree with people when people say you should get just to get a little bit off tangent, but stay on topic. There's God, I can't remember the last ship. No,
Yeah.
last ship lasted a couple of seasons. Trying to think of the name of this. It was the name. It was the show that had a submarine that was like stranded on this island, and like they gave it like 6, 8 episodes before they canceled it.
Hmm.
And I'm like, at least give us a full season. At least give
Yeah.
the writers, give the actors, give everybody a chance to go one full season, regardless of what the ratings are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think sometimes if you let them go a full season, if it's a bad story, guess what?
Hmm.
People are not going to be mad that you cut it. But if it's a good story, it just took a while to get going. You
I
have an
mean,
opportunity to bring it back and renew it
perfect,
for a second season.
perfect example. Awake
Yeah,
from NBC. Jason Isaacs video vehicle,
yeah,
where it's the cop that's floating between two different realities, waking up and going to sleep. Yeah, one where his son survives the crash, and the other one where his wife survives the crash with him.
gotcha. Yeah,
And yeah, and he's using those the differences between the two universes to not just solve crimes that he's assigned in the other universe, but also to solve the question of what happened that night of the crash.
hmm. And they didn't get to go more than a season, huh?
Nope, nope. They were just building up more.
That's insane. That's insane. All right. So, yes. So, what we're talking about, if you look at the hot topics, is the fact that The Last Ronin is potentially going to be a live action movie. So,
Yeah,
I'm here for that. For 100% sure they'll get my money, or at least I'll jump on the stream and watch it when it hits streaming.
yeah.
Uh, so, all right. So, next up, we have some sad news.
Very sad
Uh,
news.
Dave can probably speak a little bit more than I outside of Zod of the importance of this man as an actor. But Terrence Stamp, face of 60s British cinema and star of The Limey and Superman, dies at 87. He played General Zod in the original Superman, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, in Superman 2. Well, original Superman and then Superman 2. This is where he's got the starting. He got the cameo in the first one,
Gotcha.
right at the beginning, where he gets exiled to the Fam Zone with the others. Um,
Yes. No.
I mean, yep.
This is,
And outside of Superman, um, I mean, he played uh, Perry White in Superman Returns.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but um, he was the core of '60s British crime dramas.
Okay.
He was the '60s British version of John Wick.
Nice.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Uh,
go and watch. I mean, go check up his IMDb credit list. We'd
uh,
be here all day and the next day discussing his filmography.
yeah.
And dude is just legendary for everything that he did. Never really quite broke out in the U.S. the way that uh, other stars like Malcolm McDowell did.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but
I was just looking over some of his stuff. They said in the 60s, he's a prominent figure in the swinging London scene, known for his high profile relationship with actress Julie Christie and model Jean Shrimpton. He collaborated with esteemed directors like William Wyler in a movie called The Collector in 65, Joseph Lucy and Modesty Blase in 66.
Mossy Blaze, yeah,
Yeah, my Modesty Blaze, yeah. And then Poor Cow in 67 with Ken Loach. So, yeah.
yep. Basically Michael Caine is the last of that group, that generation.
Still alive, yeah.
Yeah, that's still alive. So, for the guys,
Right.
For the ladies, of course, we still have Dame Helen Mirren.
Wasn't she in one of the last Fast and Furious movies?
Possibly.
I believe she has a recurring role in the Fast and Furious movies.
She does have. I mean, I know she's had a late career renaissance with Red.
Yeah.
And other stuff, but
yeah, Red, that movie was pretty funny. Like that movie was pretty funny and pretty good.
Yeah. She and I believe also Miranda Richardson is kind of at the tail end of that generation.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So here's some other things that he did as well that we didn't get to mention is he was Chancellor Finis Valorum.
Yeah, Chancellor Valorum in episode 1 and the prequels.
Yes,
and I believe that he came back to provide the voice for Chancellor Valorum in the Clone Wars saga.
Clone Wars, nice.
Yeah,
and he also was the voice of Jor-El in Smallville.
Yeah.
And then he said the silver-haired gentleman in his final film role last night in Soho that came out in 2021.
Right.
Wow. Right on. Right on. So unfortunately, the world lost a good one.
Yep.
You know, I'll say this. You don't stay working in Hollywood for that long without being one of the good actors. Like, period.
Yep.
You just don't. Like, bad actors don't survive long. It's not a complete meritocracy because it is about who you know, whether you get the roles in general. But once you're on screen, whether or not you are successful, it's completely by merit. Are you a good enough actor? If you're not, trust me, and you're not getting many roles. All right, so that'll end that part. We'll end Hot Topics there, and we'll go back to our pop culture quiz question. We'll see if Dave knows the answer. Who is the lead singer of the band Coldplay?
Chris Martin.
That is correct.
AKA Mr. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Lucky man, man. Lucky man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Gwyneth is on the left side of the hot crazy graph. If you've ever seen How I Met Your Mother.
Yes. Yeah. I know it well. I know Barney's hot crazy graph very, very well. Yeah. All right. Well, regardless to say he's got a beautiful woman, I wish him well. All right, so that will take us into our first segment of the day, which is... Corner, where we talk everything pop culture. But as we begin every segment with, we have the question. We're going to see if we can stump Dave at some point today. Normally he goes 4 for 4, but we'll see what happens with this one. I don't think he's going to get this one. All right. So this section's question is, what is the name of Adele's second studio album? Give you a few minutes to think about it. We'll talk about another few things, and then we'll come back. Again, as brought to us by the man Dave, WKRP is back in audio form.
That's right. So there's a website, and I will make sure that it's in the First GenXers Facebook page so we can all check it out. But somebody spliced together audio clips of Dr. Johnny Fever and Venus Flytrap in the evening.
Yeah.
And the actual songs to do 2 3-hour blocks. First block is Johnny Fever. Second block is Venus Flytrap. And of course, with news, weather, and traffic from 5-time winner of the prestigious Buckeye Newshawk Award, Les Essman.
Les Essman, yeah, that's awesome.
So it's audio clips spliced together with the actual songs to create. It's a total of 6 hours for both of them combined. So, and it starts off with Johnny's first appearance, if you remember in the pilot episode where they were changing from
classic rock.
Not the classic rock formula, but the easy listening format to the rock format. Johnny was on the, okay, it's 5:55 in the morning, and I'm your DJ, heavy early. And it is heavy early. Yeah, before he got the Johnny Fever persona going. Yeah. So it starts off with that. It goes, all throughout there, and they do they have the full cuts of the actual songs. This isn't like the issues with the DVDs and Blu-rays where they couldn't get the licensing rights. This is, I guess, it falls under fair use, same way that you can do full broadcasts of the songs without having to pay royalties because it's not for profit or blah 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 blah, whatever legal ease it is. So so take yourself back to one of the greatest sitcoms of all times. No word if we have the turkey drop in there.
I was just gonna say. They had the infamous turkey drop episode. Yes.
I think it's just the clips. So I mean, if they could include the turkey drops. I haven't gone through all 6 hours of stuff. Well, actually, it'd only be 3 hours because it's it was part of Johnny's rotation. Yeah.
If that's somebody had an idea and decided they wanted to share it with the world.
Yep.
Somebody went through a lot of work to create that using the original audio clips from the show and the original songs, and they wanted to share it with the world no matter what.
And it's not even the fake songs that they had on the original broadcast, because the Kids Bop version of the songs, I want to call it, where they had the studio band re-record. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I just think in general, the fact that somebody took the time to do this, you're a beautiful human being.
Yeah.
And it definitely is a great way to bring more positivity to the world.
And why am I blanking on the name of Venus Flytrap's actor?
Tim White.
Tim White, yes.
Yes. One of the most ironic names in all of Hollywood.
Yep.
A 6 foot tall black man by the name of Tim White.
Yep. I remember when he went to deal with the gangbanger that he was mentoring.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
I was
quite young.
Powerful.
Well. See, here's the thing about it. Like, I will always remember him as Venus Flytrap from WKRP, but more recently, his memory sticks out to me from that '70s show as Hyde's father. Like that one, yeah. And ironically, he owned a chain of record stores in that show. But yeah.
Also, the lieutenant, San Diego Police lieutenant on Simon and Simon.
Yeah, true, huh?
And he also had a sadly short-lived sitcom on CBS called Frank's Place, where he played dude from New York or Philadelphia who went back home to New Orleans to open up a Creole restaurant in there.
Okay,
So
okay.
That was
hold on. So, no. There you go. Tim Reed.
Tim Reed, yes.
Tim Reed is his name, not Tim White. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Tim Reed.
Yeah. So, but Tim Reed.
No, it clicked because I was like, isn't the guy from WKRP the same guy that played the father in Sister? And it is.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
But Frank's Place, one of the memories that sticks out for me was he got invited to a black social club called the Big C Club, C for Creole. And the problem was that we find out that the Big C Creole are the dark-skinned black folk, while Little C Creole are the light-skinned one. And so, I mean, in the age that you had with Cosby, even Good Times and What's Happening, and
that was another one too, another death that we should talk about.
Yeah,
the young lady from
went on to become a veterinarian.
Yeah, she was a doctor. Go ahead.
Yeah, but when you had these progressive shows, addressing, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
White bigotry needs to be addressed and combated. But that was like the first time that I even got the concept that there could be disharmony between, different skin tones in the black community.
And that's the thing with it is that but no, that goes back, back to U.S. history class.
Oh yeah.
Slavery and learning about how the house Negroes versus the
field
Negroes, and stuff like that. But no, I get what you're saying. Like, and he. What's funny is that Tim Reed has played that dude in several different shows that he was in. Like, like even in that '70s show, they kind of make a joke of it. But like he makes comments about like being a black man in this like deep, but Mid-South type town.
He's the real guy.
Yeah.
If John Amos was the reality, and Bill Cosby was the aspiration.
Yeah, I can see that.
Tim Reed was the real guy.
Actually,
it's like it's like the old superhero trope where if we had superpowers, deep down we'd want to be Batman.
Yeah,
we'd aspire to be Superman, but we'd actually be Spider-Man.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can see that.
He was literally the middle of the road every guy for the black community, at least again outside looking in.
Yeah. So before we move forward, let's say this one quick time. Check us out at there, and also check our First GenXers. I don't have the address right now, but the First GenXers Facebook page. That's where Dave will post the link for the WKRP audio segments. All right.
And also, before we go on, let's not forget um, to give a remembrance to the actress.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
we can stop there. Yeah, we can go there. Hold on, let me
yeah,
look at the information. Um,
we just got a
Dorothy.
lot that we're going through. Yeah,
Yeah, she
Doctor,
used to play Dee Dee on What's Happening.
on what's happening? Yeah, I'm gonna tell mom.
Yep. Uh, there, Danielle Spencer is her
Yeah,
actress.
Doctor Daniel Spencer. She earned that title.
Wow, she's been.
Graduate.
Her that face looks so familiar outside of What's
Yeah,
Happening.
yeah. But she, after the show ended,
Yeah.
she continued on. She went on to higher education, um, got a degree in her doctorate in veterinary sciences from UC Davis.
Oh wow. She
Yep.
yeah, and according to this, she during the show's run of What's Happening, she Spencer was involved in a severe car accident that left her in a coma and tragically killed her stepfather. She eventually recovered and returned to the show and later battled breast cancer in 2014. Required wow.
Yeah.
Like this woman lived a life and a half. She was inducted into the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture in 2016. Wow.
Yep.
So we lost another good one.
We lost another very good one.
So,
Bratty little sister, good woman.
yes, amazing woman. It's funny to me how people talk a lot about like Dana Plato and
Hmm.
what was his name, the older brother,
Todd Bridges.
Todd Bridges, and they talk about a lot like Morton, not Morton Downey, but Robert Downey Jr. before the Iron
Hmm.
Man,
Yeah.
and they talk about how these childhood actors become these people,
Yeah.
but they very rarely ever talk about people like Mayim Bialik and Danielle
Yeah.
Spencer, who went on to do amazing things.
Danica McKellar.
Yeah,
Winnie Cooper um,
uh,
Wonder
the Wonder
Years
Years. Yes.
grew up. She is a world-renowned mathematician.
Yep. And actually, she came back to acting for The Big
Young
Bang
Justice
Theory for an
and Young
episode.
Justice, yeah.
Yeah, and Young Justice. All right, so I'm gonna bring the man with the master plan to the stage. He's joining us now. What is up, Saint? How you doing,
What's
sir?
good? What's good? What's
Hey,
good?
hey,
All right, so
yeah.
we are discussing the
We were
death of
just,
Danielle
yeah,
Spencer, and just also just how many people like how what A, she lived a hell of a life, first of all, but B, also the fact that there are so many actors that go on to kind of disappear from the acting scene and go
hmm
on to do great things and
yeah,
go on to
Well,
be impactful people in other ways other than on screen. Go
yeah.
yeah.
on.
Well, I had a I guess a Facebook relationship. I think we spoke maybe once or twice and so forth because that's a TV show. What's happening? I mean, that was specifically my era, and I was a real little kid then, but I was a big like childhood crush or what have you on Danielle Spencer, and she became very beautiful, and then she walked away from the Hollywood scene, and she eventually became a veterinarian. She did step back into a couple of appearances for what's happening now when they did the sequel series, but other than that, you know, it's it's kind of amazing because of the only two of the actors from that particular series are gone. There's still Haywood Nelson, and of course, I'm forgetting his name, Ernest Thomas, who played the two friends. Okay, Fred Berry, Shirley Hemphill, and Mabel King, all all deceased from the original
Right. What's that?
TV, for the original TV show. And that's a big deal you know, in my childhood and so forth. And yeah, you know, I kind of heard you a little bit talk about, you know, Todd Bridges.
Yeah.
Well, you know, one of the things too, though, is that, you know, I kind of could say a little different because Todd Bridges grew up in that. You know, his first series was on a TV show called Fish, which starred Abe Vigoda on ABC. This was the sequel show to
Barney
the
Miller.
show Barney Miller. At that point in time, and then later on down the line, he was in Roots, and then eventually, you know, Different Strokes.
Strokes, right.
Um,
No,
the tragic tale from that is just amazing, you know, and it's really crazy. It Well, I was just gonna sum up something.
no, go for it.
Kim Fields was on a podcast recently. She was on a podcast recently, and she was telling this, you know, telling this disheartening story about Todd Bridges, where everybody on that entire show, everybody are all gone. No Conrad Bain, no Gary Coleman, no Dana Plato.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, no Dixie Carter. No, I will take that back. The only other person is Danny Cooksey,
Yeah. Okay.
but he's kind of irrelevant. However, though,
Wait a minute, how dare
No.
you call Montana Max irrelevant?
hey, listen,
I
when
know.
they switched the networks to ABC, that show fell the fuck off. Anyway, and it was, you know, they said, hey, here's the cast of Different Strokes, and Todd was the only one that
wasn't
was
returning.
was there. No, that was the only one that was there. Like everybody else is gone. And you know, that's crazy as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Well, but no, what I was talking about when I talked about the Todd Bridges thing is it's just in society, when we look at Hollywood, we are quick to remember the Dana Platos, the Todd Bridges,
Yes.
so on and so forth. But we're not as quick to remember those that had star careers, maybe as children, maybe as teenagers, and went on after that to go to college, to find themselves like I'll be honest with you. It blew my mind. I watched Cal Penn act in many things, loved him in everything I saw him in. Of course, for me, he's primarily known from the Harold and Kumar movies.
Mm-hmm.
That man went on to work for the Obama administration.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like as an agricultural advisor. And I'm like, I never even knew that side of him was there until I see it. But when we tell the stories of Hollywood, of course, they're always told with caution. But we seem to tell those stories of the Todd Bridges, of the what was the name of that kid from the Steve Harvey show he ended up getting killed behind a fast food place in LA. I can't Merlin Santana. We're quick, or people are quick to tell those stories, but I don't hear as often the stories, unless it's being told by the person, those stories of triumph where people lived through all of that and became something bigger than just an actor or just, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the character was. Like Malcolm Jamal Warner went on to do a lot of great things.
Or on a minor level,
Well,
Carrie Henn.
well,
Newt
Malcolm
from
Jamal
Alien.
Jamal Warner.
Yeah.
Well-
she that was her. Newt was her only role, and she decided Hollywood was not for me. I mean, she was great in Aliens, but she decided she didn't want to do Hollywood. She went on. She's a teacher in Northern California now.
Yeah. What were you going to say something?
No, I was gonna say, but Malcolm Jamal Warner never really disappeared from TV.
No.
Yeah,
You know,
he
beyond
stayed.
Beyond without
He
the
kept
Cosby
his
Show.
he kept his fingers in.
No, he stayed relevant. You know, Malcolm and Eddie. He did. I know the TV, the medical TV show. I forgot what that was called. You know, he was also.
He was a writer, he was a poet.
A musician and so forth. But you know, he also was the producer on the Magic School Bus.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So
See,
yeah, that was.
I'm just saying, I would love to see in Hollywood more that when we tell even the cautionary stories of Hollywood, we talk more about these people who were a success despite,
And
and you know what I'm saying, despite, as opposed to telling the stories, the sad stories of those who unfortunately never got out.
yeah,
And so, yeah. But all right. So that will take us and move us forward to a subject that I know Saint will be happy to talk about, as it is DC related, and that is that DC has announced that they are doing a Batman Static Beyond series, which I believe it's Terry McGinnis as Batman, and then it's a grown version of Static.
Static, yeah.
Okay.
Grown, older version of Static. Like when we saw him in the DC universe or the DC animated universe, you know, Virgil still had the dreads going on, but those dreads were starting to gray.
Yeah. All right, Saint.
Yeah. No. What I was gonna say is that I mean, I'm not surprised in a sense, but now it should have been done a long time ago. As a matter of fact, if anybody remembers that, it's already kind of happened.
Yeah, in the animated series, correct?
Yeah, and that is correct. And that was a you know, that was
the
a
once
pretty
and future thing.
That was a pretty
1 and 2. Yep.
Yeah.
That was a great two-parter. See older Bruce lecturing younger Bruce on how to interrogate people. I can't believe I was ever that green. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah. But yeah, I am down with it. I am currently discovering Static and the Milestone universe for the first time, doing the read-throughs thanks to Comixology/Kindle. It's all available on there, and it's good stuff. Virgil,
absolutely, the Big Bang, the Big Bang, that the Big Bang with that started the
Milestone
that started
universe.
with the well, it's called the Dakotaverse.
The Dakotaverse, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big deal. That's one of the reasons why I hate it when DC changed it, they changed it to Static Shock, and I'm like, dude, I wouldn't like. That's like East 14th being called the other name.
Yeah.
Being international.
No, serious. Yeah. East 14th being called the other name. I don't call Static the other name. I call them. I just call them. I seen it when I do, and I would like to find out though, and seriously on some serious shit, because I do have a couple of questions, and I want to see if we can get a conversation with Dennis Cowan about how he feels about you know. Because this is something that should have been happened a long time ago, and that part of being the Dakotaverse, because of all that, of all that rich history. Because my personal favorite is Hardware. He's technically the Iron Man of the Dakotaverse, and he's bad. Him and Icon, those were the two series that I played through all the way through.
I'm still recovering from reading the end of Icon with the funeral of Buck Wild, Mercenary Man.
Yeah, that was the take on Luke Cage, but that was so funny. That was so funny.
It was, especially where they keep bringing him back as different stereotypical black characters.
Yeah.
In there, and it was just like, oh man.
Okay, you guys can confirm this for me as comic book readers. Was there ever recently a character created called Mr. Terrible that was supposed to be the antithesis of Mr. Terrific?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, he's like the Dark Metal Universe version of Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all! Y'all got to come up with better shit than this.
Dude.
Well,
and he's and listen, his name may be
terrible.
terrible, but he is actually an existential threat, bro.
Yeah,
Like he is the total opposite of Mr. Terrific. And I mean,
I
The only
just
terrible
did,
threat out there is Doctor Horrible. No,
I just finished a reread of Kingdom Come,
oh my
and
God.
yeah, Mr. Terrific in Kingdom Come, just this absolute, you know, overpowering, mechanized character where he still has the fair play logo on it, but it's used ironically because he doesn't believe in fair play. He'll snipe you from like half a mile away.
because he understands the world doesn't believe in fair play. So why should
Exactly.
he?
Yep.
No.
Yeah,
All right.
but yeah, that's good. There's something going on too with the Kingdom Come. Aren't they supposed to be doing an animated series or an animated movie?
I'm probably at some point. You know.
Do you know? Have you ever read Kingdom Come? Dark
Me,
Lord.
no. No.
Oh, bro,
Oh,
if you listen, bro, I'll put it to you this way:
dude.
there's Marvels, there's Alex Ross, the artist Alex Ross. There's Marvels, there's Kingdom Come,
Okay.
and I tell you, and I've read both, and Marvels is great, but Kingdom Come to me is better than the Crisis on Infinite Earths
Yeah.
because not only was that entire series like painted like
By Alex Ross.
by Alex Ross, like that is probably one of the best Superman stories of all time
Right.
because it he actually kind of got political.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you if you read
I'm
that,
saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, it
if you
shows
read
how.
that,
Yeah, it shows how even the best, you know, Road to Hell's paved with good intentions. Yeah, you see what that in action in Kingdom Come.
All right.
that's
I'll
kind of
check
like
it out.
a lighter. I'll put it to you this way: it's a lighter version of Injustice,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
but it's
Yeah.
scary. But it's still scary as fuck
Mhm.
though.
All
Mhm.
right. So I'm going to move us forward, gentlemen. I
Yeah.
will check that out as well as soon as I can.
And
All right.
it is available on Kindle. So
On Kindle. All right.
yeah.
Well, I'll say, all right. Pop Culture Corner now moves into the Twisted Metal universe as episodes 1 through 7 have now been released. And let me tell you this, if you haven't been watching, watch soon because this is, well, watch whenever you can. But it's amazing what they're doing with the characters. Again, Will Arnett and Joe Sonoi, I believe his name is.
Yep. Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe are both amazing acting together. Like I said, I love Sweet Tooth's whole story arc this year or this season. I still want to find out what the fuck's going on between the main dude and that Raven chick because there's something there that they haven't touched on yet. And yeah, and the one character that I'm loving the most is Mayhem. She is slowly but surely becoming my favorite character. And once you watch it, you will understand why. She's not a badass. She is the furthest thing from a badass. But she might be the luckiest woman ever alive. So just watch it, enjoy it. Twisted Metal on Peacock, Anthony Mackie, Stephanie Beatrice. Worth the watch 100%. We'll also talk real quick a little bit of Eyes of Wakanda.
Yep.
Just recently watched that. Well, I watched episode 4, I think last week, and it's only a 4-part thing, so there's only 4 episodes.
Okay.
I am completely happy with what I saw as a whole. Like episode 4 was kind of more of a futuristic episode. And you get to see where Wakanda ends up in like 500 years, sort of. But in general, overall, 1 through 3 were excellent storytelling. 4 is the same thing. If you haven't been watching this, please watch Eyes of Wakanda. It's worth the watch. It's not really tied to any story outside of, and I think you guys you've seen 1, Dave, and you've seen 1 through 3, right? Same?
Yeah.
Or yeah, okay. So in the first 3 episodes, I kind of felt like they were focused on, and I mentioned this last week when we talked about it, the war dog aspect of Wakanda, which I always wanted something to focus on that because they brought it up in the first Black Panther and they never really mentioned it again. And so like they were focusing more on the war dog aspect of it. I love that about it. But the 4th episode kind of shifts from that and shifts to the long-term effects of doing what they were doing. You see what I'm saying? And then I'll just say this. There's a tie-in to the original Black Panther movie that you'll see at the end of episode 4. It's really awesome. So Eyes of Wakanda, I fully recommend it. What were your guys' thoughts on what you watched?
I like you said, I've only seen the first episode. I really liked it. I thought it was great storytelling. Animation's very good. But the one thing that I wanted to mention is going through the IMDb cast list. Everybody in there getting black actors and actresses to voice the black roles, because that's not something that you have traditionally seen in animation in there, that there is a dearth of black voice actors for the roles. So a lot of times they go to white or other actors for there. It's starting to change. Carl Lumbly and Phil Lamar are the exceptions rather than the rule, but that's changing. And
I'll say it like this. I'll say it like this just before I let Saint give his thoughts. Ryan Coogler kind of shifted that with the success of Black, and not completely. Like there were other movies that did that prior to, movies like Hollywood Shuffle, but by Robert Townsend, so on and so forth, that used primarily black cast for all of the main roles. There's tons of movies out there that do it, but Ryan Coogler, like for Black Panther, outside of I think Andy Sudeikis and who was the other white dude, like
Andy Serkis and Martin Freeman.
Right. And a couple of extras, like the entire...
Excuse me just a second. I'll be right back because I want to show you something too.
The entire cast, crew, and everything else of Black Panther was black. The grips, like the entire crew. The set designers, the clothes designers, and it set kind of a standard, especially when dealing with the Black Panther IP, that you want to be as authentic as possible.
Yeah. And little media history to show you how absolutely white dominated media has been. Are you familiar with the old radio and TV character Beulah, the stereotypical black maid?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a character that started back in the 30s in there. For the first 10 years of that character's existence on the radio, Beulah was voiced by white men. Not even white women, white men for 10 years.
That's just like Amos and Andy. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
What the fuck? This
exactly.
is just...
Yeah, and it wasn't until the end of the radio run for the Beulah show, and they were making the transition to TV, that Hattie McDaniel entered the picture to voice the character. That's just... online. This is why black representation of all kinds, whether it's black, Latino, female, gay, what have you. This is why it matters.
Yeah, it inspires others. Saint, your thoughts on Eyes of Wakanda, sir?
Well, no, I was just gonna point up something, because this book, I ended up getting.
Nice.
Kind of helped a little bit of the kind of helps with a little bit of the with the series and what kind of like what it represents. And this is actually a handbook
Oh,
of the Dora Milaje
Malaji, nice.
and the War Dogs and so forth. So, you know, it's some of the best storytelling
Be right back.
that I've seen in a little while, and
Mhm.
I'm definitely looking forward to to this next project or whatever it is that that's dealing with with the mythology of the Black Panther. So I'm
Mhm.
really looking forward to getting that kind of thing done and just making it happen, man.
Yep.
Just trying to do the due and diligent thing to do, So what's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
Who, me?
Yeah,
Oh,
you, sir.
I'm yeah, I'm doing okay. Sorry,
All right.
senior ADHD moment there.
Yeah, yeah,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. You kind of blanked out in space, bro. Like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on here?
No, no,
All
no.
right. So I'll move us forward with that break. Let's see. All right. So next up is Marvel's Undead are shambling back to your screens even sooner than expected. Marvel Zombies now expected to arrive, I believe, on Disney Plus on September 24th. So it's supposed to be an animated adaptation of the Marvel Zombies. We kind of got a taste of it during the What If series. I believe we got 2 zombie episodes, one in the first season, one in the second season. So, gentlemen, your thoughts on this becoming its own series?
Well, eventually it was gonna eventually happen at some point. The Marvel Zombies thing is it's different
Uh,
from is definitely different, especially in the books. Um, Captain America's literally a bastard, and Iron Man is just technologically shattered.
uh,
But it's got its it's got its moments. But I'm actually looking forward to seeing the continuation of what we actually started with when it came to the What If series.
okay. Yeah, I liked what they did with the What If series, the giant, and then I love how the giant Ant Man played into the Deadpool Wolverine movie as well. Because the last time we had seen that prior to was Marvel Zombies. But Dave, your thoughts?
Um, I hold on for the shock. I actually have no thoughts. Marvel Marvel Zombies is not my thing.
Okay.
Um, it's just not something that I'm interested in. I'm not interested in seeing my aspirational heroes like Captain America, even Iron Man, um, you know, have to deal with a unstoppable zombie apocalypse. I
Yes.
didn't like it when DC did it. Didn't like it
Uh,
when DC did, DC versus vampires. So it's not for me. If it's your thing, have fun with it.
fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So then our last story here is just an opinion piece that I found that I threw in there. And that is the title of it said, "This is the worst MCU movie of all time," and it's not even close. And as I begin to read through the article, it was listed as, can you guys guess? Give me a guess. What do you think has been ranked as one of the worst movies, or worst MCU movies of all time?
Um,
Howard the Duck. And if it's not Howard the Duck, is Nick Fury Agent of Shield?
Okay, okay, Dave,
um,
you're good.
because it's MCU, um, I'm going to go with either Eternals or something that is female led.
Wait a minute,
All right.
hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, you said the worst MCU. No. Oh, to me,
Uh,
Thor: The Dark World. I did
you
not
came
like. I
close.
did not. I did not like that movie.
You came close. The article states that Thor: Love and Thunder is the worst movie Worst Thor, worst MCU movie of all time.
Yeah. I'm guessing ranked based on user comments.
I guess so. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know
Because
how they're. Yeah.
yeah, because how dare they, give female characters agency.
It was a great to me. It was a great. It was. I
It
won't
was
say it's the
fine.
best MCU movie, but it was a great
Oh,
movie. It
yeah,
was a great standalone
it was a
movie.
good movie with a good story,
Yeah.
and it continues. The Thor films. When you take a look at all of the Thor films, it's Thor having everything that every single one of them is Thor having everything that he has known and relied on for thousands of years ripped out of him, ripped away from him, and he has to find the way forward. He has to discover who he is moving forward.
Yes. I
And
agree.
it's a great central theme for the character.
Hmm.
Um, and let's face it, you know, it was a great bit in the comics. It was a great comic storyline. I'm absolutely fine with seeing Jane Foster as Thor
Oh yeah.
in there. Um, you know, but of course, toxic fandom exists, and we can't have nice things.
Very true. Saint, your thoughts.
Well, my whole thing with the it's like this. I know that there are so many opinions when it comes to what they call the female led, movies or what have you. I mean, they're good stories.
Mhm. They're
Women,
not the
there
greatest.
there there there
Yeah.
are women out there, like I listen, I gave a lot of respect to fucking Black Widow because
Mhm.
that right there was an action, that was an action
Right.
movie of all the, with all the goodness. Captain Marvel wasn't too bad, I mean, they did change a few things, with
Right.
that, I
But
mean, yeah.
it's like what I just said with Marvel Zombies. Fandom cannot accept that if it is not the demographic that resembles me, they cannot accept anything
There's that.
that deviates from that demographic in there. They can't even conceive of it. And if it doesn't cater to them, then they automatically go into, oh, it's just woke shit.
Yep.
That and that's
Well,
that is a problem with all of fandom, not just comics,
I
but
don't
in
know.
science fiction.
I think I didn't had it. I didn't think I didn't had that. I hate that word now. I really hate that word because that was a word that started with that was a word that started with us.
Yeah,
And they turned it into something political, but I don't want to get into that. But
yeah, but it's
ooh, Lord have
yeah, but
mercy.
it's
This is not
it's
the day today, man.
it is the legacy of Comicsgate. It is. I mean, why are we listening to a demographic of people that for 4 seasons thought Homelander was a misunderstood good guy? When right off from the bat, episode 1, he commits sexual assault.
yeah.
Why are you thinking he's a misunderstood good guy?
Because it's
No,
it's well,
no.
it's kind of
Why?
pre-programmed into us that the
Exactly,
anti-hero normally
exactly.
is the misunderstood good guy. But
Yeah,
that's a whole nother episode of a
right.
conversation
And
there.
so and so, you know, it's like, and that carries over. It carries over into Thor: Love and Thunder. It carried over into Captain Marvel. It carried over into Wonder Woman. I mean, for fuck's sake, with the first Wonder Woman film, we had fans complaining that the Amazons had armpit hair. Literally,
Okay, you
that
know
was the
what?
bug up their ass.
I'll say it like
I
this. I'll say it like this to close this out. All right. We will always have idiots. There's too many people on the planet for there not to be some idiots. You just gotta hope that the intelligent ones prevail. Both of you guys made very good points in that, but we gotta move the show forward. What's up?
One last thing. The other thing is that social media and bots have amplified the already toxic positions to this is the demographic that must be catered to even more than it should be.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's the world we live in. Hopefully, we'll get out of it before our lives end. All right, so the pop culture
just let people enjoy themselves. It doesn't matter if it caters to you. If people like it, let them. Just say, not my thing. Walk away.
Yeah. It's
sorry,
an easy
kid,
thing to do, but so hard for many. No, I feel you, bro. All right, so pop culture question heading into this segment. What is the name of Adele's second studio album? Gentlemen, do you have any guesses before we?
Oh my goodness, no, and I should know this.
You're the music guy.
I really should, yeah, I really should, but I don't at this moment.
The answer to the question is 21, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, one for the show. One for y'all, one for the show. There you go.
I mean, you're asking me to name a pop music album that was released past Metallica's Garage Incorporated.
I feel you. All right, so guys, that's going to end it for the first part of the show. We are going to be jumping into wrestling, some Triple Mania, a little Clash in Paris talk, Raw and SmackDown as well. And that will all be pre-video game talk. We got a full segment for video games. So be sure to stick with us. You're watching the Cheap Pop Podcast right here on the First GenXers Broadcast Network, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you decide to tune in. Just tune in. Peace.
This is now versus then. This is now versus then. Get on your mark, let's go. This is now versus then. Burning up your radio, still turning up the heat with Poetic on the flow. Got you moving to the beats with the Saint as your host. Shout out the collective, hold it down, we gon' clown, that's the lesson. We're Generation X meets Generation Next, with them bangers from the east to the south to the west. Yeah, this how we do it in Sacktown. Slide to the studio, yup, it goes down. Everybody fall through. These beats gon' pound, waking the game up, told you it goes down. And this is only the intro. Turn the mics on, shout out to my kinfo. Where you at, y'all? Let's get this started. Turn down for what? We about to start the party. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. This is now versus then. This is now versus then. This is now versus then. This is now versus then.
button, push it, make it do something. No balls for me, cause I'm a loose cannon. I get to choose, camera, switch it up, look up a new banner. Keep smoking on that banner.
They say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the definition of beauty is distorted. Yeah. Come on. Searching for yourself, so insecure about the way you look, so you go to Miami. You can't find the love within yourself.
There you go. And there you go. We are all unmuted now. Okay, so.
Damn. Caught me with my chips, bro.
Gotta pay attention when the end of the
Hey, look.
block comes up, man.
Listen, these kettle chips, they're good. They're honey mustard, and they're delicious.
Oh.
And yeah, I got caught up, bro. Sorry.
I got
Sorry, but not sorry.
I got addicted to, I think it's from El Sabroso snacks. They're quesito chips, which are corn tortilla chips with flakes of jalapeno in the mix before they fry it, and then nacho cheese.
Wow.
So the best nacho cheese tortilla chips, period. And I can't find them anymore.
That sucks ass, man.
It does.
All right, gentlemen, quick random question for you. When was the last time, or if you have ever had, a deep fried Snickers, and how was it?
Never.
I can't eat peanuts. I'm allergic to them. So
Damn. Well, I've just wanted to know. I've been asking that ever since 2004 when I went to Vegas and I saw a big sign talking about deep fried Snickers.
Yeah.
Why you would want to deep fry something that's already so delicious on its own is beyond me.
Now, I have had deep fried Oreos before.
And how were they?
They were good.
Okay.
Okay,
Maybe I'm wrong
because
about this whole deep frying thing.
actually with the fryer heat, the cream center melts a little bit more, so it's more like what you get in a Twinkie.
Okay, fair enough.
So, and the chocolate cookies kind of they melt a bit themselves.
Hey, Tech Tinkers, what's up?
Here we
He
go.
said, I've only seen soggy Snickers floating around in my old pool. Hey, bro, don't bring that nonsense here. Don't
Nope.
bring that nonsense. What's up, Tech Tinkers? Thanks for joining us, bro. All right, let's see. Here is the question that is going to stump you. I know it. It's so easy, it's going to stump you. Watch. What was the name of Michael Jackson's pet chimpanzee? We'll get the answer at the end of the segment. If you know in the comments, let us know. All right. So let's see. Our first segment of this part of the show is... All right. Yes, I was doing that. Damn right, Beach Boys. What? Anyway. And first,
That's really more Safarians than Beach Boys.
Okay, fine. You're right. Well, let's say.
Twisted on the beach.
Let's
No.
let's see. Monday Night Raw was pretty good this week. I enjoyed it. I like what they're doing with Seth and his whole group. Just because they are, how do you say, the center point of what's going on in the WWE right now. We also got big news that Sami Zayn, or not Sami Zayn, but LA Knight is now on Raw. He cut a promo interrupting CM Punk. Maxine Dupree, I love you to death. Take your butt back to NXT and get some more reps in before you come back and get a main roster match. But they're going to keep her there because she's popular as far as personality. Yeah. So they're going to keep her there.
Yeah, we'll get into that match that Maxine had.
Yeah. We also, and then of course we closed with Seth's group, I believe, standing tall and looking good. We also had an appearance by the NFTs, but let's dig into this. All right. So we opened the show with Punk and LA Knight, a segment that I liked because it was Punk and LA Knight, but that's about it.
Yeah. It also cemented, I think, that LA Knight is going to be the next CM Punk after Punk retires in the next 3 years or so, I'd say. He's going to be on the heels of Cena, I'm sure.
I'm going to say this. I would agree with you if LA Knight wasn't almost 50 years old already.
Okay. Not knowing his age, I will.
Like he's like his moment is now. Like he's hot, he's popular. I expect him to probably win the title at some point. Win one of the titles at some point in 2026. Because he's kind of up there. Unless he's going to be like Ric Flair and wrestle into his 60s, I don't think he can wait too much longer for that push. But I think it's great now seeing him consistently put in the ring with Roman Reigns, CM Punk, LA Knight, Seth Rollins, or not LA Knight,
with the A-listers.
With the A-listers, because he's definitely up there as far as skill and talent. Yeah, he's great on the mic.
He is a great all-around package.
Yes, it's just going to be funny to see how they're going to play this triple threat match with Punk and Knight and Rollins that we're eventually, I believe. Did they announce we're getting it for Clash in Paris? Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play.
Adam Pearce came out and said, "And it's official."
Yeah.
Because right after the Punk Knight promo, Seth wished Braun luck and said, "I'm gonna be on my private jet with my hot wife," and left.
My hot wife.
Yeah.
Not that Becky Lynch isn't hot. It's just funny to me that she always refers to him as her hot husband, and he always refers to her as his hot wife. Like, that's just awesome.
Yeah. And the thing is that they're hot, but their fashion sense is like
unique.
Unique. That's the kindest way. I still contend that Seth Rollins dresses like a rejected drug lord from an 80s straight-to-video cop drama.
You know what? I think Seth Rollins pushes the limits of what men should wear, and I'm here for every minute of it. Like, I genuinely do. Like, I think he
pushing the limits of what men should wear would be going back to Beau Brummel.
I agree, but you know what he reminds me of, and I wonder if this is his thought process in doing it the way that he does it. Some of his outfits remind me of the Gorgeous George days, like, you know what I'm saying, like back in the day when wrestlers when Ric Flair was in his prime, you know, when Ric Flair was in his 40s and not his 70s, and he was coming out with the Flair robe on. Woo! Like, it just takes me back to that, but just in a way more modernist type way of doing things. Right. You know, and Becky Lynch as well.
With that snow, with that, Swiss Alps snow coat. Jeez.
Yes. And no tech tinkers.
All-
I am not secretly a furry. Anyway, that would have came out by now if I was.
all those kittens that died to make that coat.
I say this: if it makes you, here's what's funny to me, is that people have yet to understand, or not you guys, but people have yet to understand that the reason for doing this is to get you to hate them.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're over the top dramatics in how they dress, and then still come out and they're like, I'm still the cool guy. Yeah, I may look ridiculous, but I'm still gonna say I got drip because I'm still the cool guy. And you know what? You may be laughing at me, but that's only because you are not brave enough to wear what I wear. And it's just like, yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Yeah.
that opened up Raw, and then we went into, it was a match between AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, a tag team match against Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano. 1, 2, and uno, dos, and tres. I believe all made appearances.
Yeah. I mean, and for once it was steel plate didn't go to El Grande Americano because he was about to fix it onto his mask, and then AJ hit him with a kick on the side, and he lost the steel plate, only for Dom to pick up the plate and put it into his new ring mask. And
smacked. I forget. I think he got AJ with it.
Yeah, he got AJ.
He ended up getting the pin.
Yeah.
So, what were your thoughts on this match, Sam?
My thing is this. Look, I like Dirty Dom right now. I do. I mean, he is just like, he's the villain you really, really love to hate right now with him and that mustache, okay? AJ Styles, yeah. Dragon Lee, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he is the total villain right now, being an asshole, and we all know who's under the Americano mask. Like, that's just funny to me.
Actually,
man.
not anymore, because the guy that's underneath the Americano mask now, there's no way it's Chad Gable.
Yeah.
No. I know, no.
Yeah.
No, I know who it is. I think I know who it is.
There's
At least one of them is.
There's a meme that points out all four El Grande Americanos that have made an appearance side by side with the wrestlers. So tall, lanky, that's Ludwig Kaiser.
That's possible. That's possible. We won't know until they take the mask off, but we'll see. We'll see. It could be somebody from AAA. Like, you never know. You never know. That's the fun of the multiple El Grande Americanos.
Yeah. I called this months back, like maybe a month into the gimmick. I called this and said, this is the way that it should be handled. And
made a request. The man's for
you,
sure.
you made a good call. I mean, you made a good wrestling prediction.
Blind squirrel nut every so often.
I mean, it's like we get to some of the most outlandish wrestling theories out there. Some of them have been like, I know that in the last maybe 2-3 years alone, that that Dark Lord, you've done, like, you've called it. There's been a couple of them that you missed on.
Yeah,
there's been a couple.
Well, I'll say it like this.
It's been a couple.
I will say it like this. I will stay with my record from the Raw Impact Unleashed. We did a year worth of predictions, and both myself and your boy Cole were able to guess the outcomes of matches based upon storyline, etc., or 70-40 rule or 70-30 rule, etc., at about a 95% clip. But both of us have both been watching wrestling for well over 30 years.
Yeah.
And I've made this statement a billion times before. If you watch wrestling consistently on a regular basis, multiple times a week, for more than a year and a half, you've literally seen every storyline that wrestling could possibly throw at you, and you could probably predict with about a 75 to 80% accuracy how the matches are going to come out. Because, again, there's only so many wrestling stories that can be told, and they can only be told in so many ways. So once you watched it for a while, you've seen pretty much most of it. WWE very rarely ever surprises me.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
But you are right. Most of the time when I try to predict where I'm going, I'm wrong. Like, I've been right a few times, but most of the time when I try to predict where they're going, I'm wrong. But they very rarely ever surprise me because most of their storylines end up making sense at the end of the day. Except for Sami Zayn. I'm messing with you. No, Sami Zayn took on Rusev on Raw, and it was actually a really good match because it's Sami fucking Zayn. And Rusev, both of them are great workers. So, but it was actually a really good match. I will admit that the storyline really didn't make much sense, but it seemed like Rusev, again, was being used as a secondary plot point. They had a reason for him to be fighting Sami Zayn, but it wasn't like the two of them are entering a program together. They're going to be wrestling for the next couple of months. It was really a way to further the feud with the MFTs, to which we'll get to about why it was used to further that feud on SmackDown.
Also, the increase in the heat between Sheamus and Rusev.
Right, because Sheamus came out and attacked Rusev after the match was over, after Sami Zayn had been attacked by the MFTs.
Yeah. Like,
so, yeah.
The instant that bell was rung, because Sheamus promised Adam Pearce he wouldn't interfere in the match, but then had a backstage with Sami and said, "I'll stay out of it, but after the match, that bastard's mine."
Yep.
And the instant the first tone of the ring bell went off to close out that match, Sheamus was just right down the aisle, and it was on. Yeah.
We had a backstage segment between Io Sky and Io Sky, the Kabuki Warriors and Roxanne and Raquel Rodriguez in Judgment Day that led to a one-on-one match between Io Sky and Roxanne Perez. That, again, really good. The work the Raw women's division is doing right now, beautiful. That led us into
my only issue is that WWE is really leaning into the friendly fire storylines, where person comes out to try to help, ends up interfering and costing the match for the person that they care about. You know, especially, I mean, we got going double with the women's division because we got the Lyra Bailey thing going on, and Bailey's promo, she's getting a heel turn here.
Oh yeah, it's obvious. Yeah, it's obvious that's where they're going with her.
Right.
Because they're not going to turn Lyra right now. She's hot as a face. So Bailey, between the two of them, Bailey has to be the one to turn. And basically, what you saw was the beginning. And I wouldn't call it a heel turn. To me, it reminds me similar to Shotzi a while back when they had her do a heel turn, and it wasn't that she turned into a heel. She just snapped.
She's going to be a tweener.
Right, but whereas it's what I call it's Thanos in Infinity War. It's the relatable villain. Yeah, you can understand why she is snapping and doing the things that she's doing, but that doesn't change the fact that what she's doing is evil. Right, and it's bad, and she's taking the low road. And so like I said, that makes perfect sense. That promo was like, that was beautiful.
And speaking of Sami Zayn, going back a little bit, I don't know if we covered this last week, but Karrion Kross's contract was not renewed. So
we didn't touch on that, but Karrion Kross is done with WWE for now. I said, WWE is known for letting people go someplace else. The best idea I still saw of it is he should go back to TNA dominate TNA. That way, that portal back to WWE is still there.
Yeah.
And then you know what I'm saying, once he goes out and gets himself over to that point where he's on that LA Knight CM Punk type level, then he'll come back and he'll be immediately thrust into the main event.
Yeah.
But yeah, your thoughts on Karrion Kross getting released?
Wow. I hope that at least the girl doesn't get released.
Nope, Scarlett.
No, Scarlett's gone too. Yeah, Scarlett's gone.
Damn. Yeah, because she was hot. No, seriously. Hey man, I'm a dirty old dude. Anyway, no, seriously. I'm not surprised, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, he kind of. I'm not gonna sit up here and say he wore out his welcome, but I don't know. I was just feeling some kind of way about him at that in that point in the game. So yeah, I never really. I mean, I was not a really big fan. I do love the entrance though. Like that entrance was pretty pretty happy with that one.
Yep.
Pretty happy with that one. But no, Karrion Kross for me was not really that big of a deal for me, and especially when it came to him and Sami Zayn. I mean, like I kind of have to look at the skeptical eye and be like, I don't think that's gonna work. You're trying to come back and get the championship, and some extra funny shit is going on, or something like that. No, I'm good, man. I'm definitely not good.
Okay, so.
Hey,
yeah.
How you doing? So we also had Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree go at it.
Yeah, which, I mean, furthering evil Becky, and Maxine showed a lot of. She showed off really well in the ring, but
there's promise there for sure.
Yeah, it's still putting a Cocker Spaniel against a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
That's kind of sick, but okay.
Yeah. No, he's kind of right though, because she's okay to work with. Right. I don't know if she was ready to be working in an Intercontinental title match, but
exactly.
I'm not the guys backstage.
Yeah.
They made that decision. It was an okay match. I'm looking more forward to the match coming up this upcoming Monday with Becky Lynch and Natty and Natalia.
Right.
Natalia, yeah. But I, like I said, it was good for Maxine because she got in some legitimately great pins and counters and moves in the ring against Becky Lynch. And, again, it is also great storytelling for Becky because it furthers her "how dare you question me, how dare you step to me" storyline. So,
well, actually, that's the thing about it. The match between Maxine and Becky Lynch was asked for by Becky Lynch. Mm-hmm. Like she walked up and like Natty was sitting there, and Natty was like, "I'll take you on." After she jumped, and then she was like, "I'll take on you," and she looked at Maxine Dupree
because she thought that Maxine was the easy target, and Maxine turned out to not be so easy after all.
And that's where the match elevated both Becky and Maxine.
Right.
So we closed the night on Raw with a matchup between what is now known as the Vision, Braun Breaker, the Bronze, and Bronson Reed, and CM Punk and LA Knight.
Yeah.
I believe that Punk and Knight won by disqualification.
Because
Seth Rollins decided to jump in,
yeah. And then we got Jay Uso running in to help his boys. And then, right, and then the MFTs showed up to. Wasn't the MFTs show up?
No. They brawled until Seth Rollins and the boys were out of the ring.
Right. Then, I remember, but Seth stomped the hell out of everyone. He stomped Seth. He stomped LA Knight.
Hold on.
Okay.
And he stomped Jay.
No, it says according to the thing, it says the Vision beat down Punk and Knight before Jey Uso made the save. Rollins and company bailed to the floor before Raji and Adam Pearce informed Seth Rollins
Right.
that his match at Clash at the Castle would be Punk versus Uso versus Knight versus Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Fatal 4-way, yeah.
Now, after that happened, then Seth and the boys jumped in and laid waste to everybody, and Seth stomped the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, because Pierce was pissed that Seth indicated that he was leaving out of there. So it's like, oh, more lies and trickery from Seth. I'm shocked. I am shocked. I'm having a heart attack, and I think I'll die of shock.
So, all right. So that closed out Raw. Again, Seth and his team stands tall. We'll quickly go over SmackDown real quick, and then we'll close with letting Dave do his or talk a little bit about Triple Mania. SmackDown saw us open with Solo Sikoa feeling himself out there with his MFTs. Before Nick Aldis came out and booked a main event. Oh no, and then Sami Zayn came out and made the announcement that Sami Zayn is now on SmackDown. Yeah. So what we come to find out later is it was actually a trade between Raw and SmackDown, where LA Knight went to Raw and Sami Zayn went to SmackDown. So now Sami is focused on Solo Sikoa in the U.S. title. That led to Nick Aldis booking a match, I believe, for the main event between any three of the MFTs, and then it was Sami Zayn. Who else was it? Hold on. It was the main event between six-man tag.
Oh, it was Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso, yeah, okay.
It was Jimmy Uso.
Let's see.
It was Jimmy Uso
and Jacob
Fatu and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And and we could talk about that match later, but
that led us. Go ahead.
That shit was that. Listen, leading up to that, when he stepped out of when he stepped in there and decided to I just want to go on ahead and I think I should take that title from you. And of course, Solo Sikoa, gonna be, about, he got big nuts, big responsibility, whatever the fuck. And then all of a sudden, here comes Jimmy Uso with the, the family, tree and all that kind of shit. And then here comes the Samoan werewolf, Bay Area business, yada I mean. And what I'm saying is that, good man. He had a great interview on the Breakfast Club, Jacob Fatu, and he really talked a lot about Bay Area roots. Like he mentioned Mr. Fab and E40. So I was like, and he builds himself from Sacramento too.
Yep.
What?
Like I said, that whole family, like the Fatus and the they're all Bay Area boys, just about.
Yep.
All right, so that we opened up the match with a furthering feud between Chelsea Green and the Secret Herbists and the current women's tag team champions Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. This match was a match between Bliss and Piper Niven, of which Bliss won, but there was a lot of outside interference.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a lot of outside interference. And I mean, listen, Charlotte, like right now, I am absolutely fucking loving her energy right now, because she's like, we're not friends, but yeah, she's been helping her friend out. Yeah, and been putting foot to ass. Like, I'm all there for it, bro.
Oh yeah. Well, I like those two as champs because I think in real life they are pretty close friends. So like they get to play the frenemies on screen, and I think that's just great. It goes through.
Yeah, it's the prom queen and outcast dynamic.
Right, 100%. And that led us to what was an amazing in-ring match, but the storyline is I think I know where it's going. But Nathan Frazier and Axiom, known as Fraxium, took on the Mellow Miss or Mellow Can't
Mellow
Miss.
don't miss.
Mellow don't miss. Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here, man, with that shit right there, man. Like, that made no sense. Like, when I was sitting up there, you know, me and Roxy were sitting up there, just, you know, watching it a little bit. She was in her play, and then I'm seeing Miz come out, do his thing, and then he comes out with him, and then it's like, and I'm seeing, what the fuck is this? Mellow don't miss. I'm like, man, what the fuck entirety of bullshit is this?
That's what
And
they
then
were
the match,
before.
and then the match was like, you know, the Miz is back to his, you know, back to his old school antics and shit. They're gonna end up getting into it, and they're gonna fuck around and find out, bro. That's all I'm saying. They're gonna fuck around and find out.
Mello, real quick. Mello had the match won. The match closed with Mello just about having the match won, about to hit his signature. The Miz tags himself in and hits, I believe it's Nathan Frazier with the skull crushing
finale. Like, what the fuck was that?
So yeah, it was great. Like I said, they're leading to them basically facing off at some point. I think possibly WrestleMania, or they may be doing it by Survivor Series. Let's see. Drew McIntyre was in the break the next match after that was DIY and the Street Profits, with continuing with SmackDown featuring their tag team division. And they gave us another banger banger after banger.
Listen, the preview was all good, because you already know when Montez Ford and they're walking up there, and what did he say? We still want the smoke.
Yep.
They still want the smoke. I'm happy with that, bro. I'm like, the Street Profits, like, listen, as far as I'm concerned, in that tag team division on SmackDown, they give zero fucks.
Yeah. And I love that's what I love.
Zero fucks.
Like, even the girls got involved with each other out front, and yeah, it was an amazing match. Go back and watch last week's SmackDown.
Yeah, but the Street Profits are banging, and I think that once again they're gonna get back into it with the Wyatt Six.
Oh yeah. That whole tag division.
But I'm just talking about in particular because, look, Montez Ford, and believe it or not, as far as I'm concerned, man, Montez Ford is going to be another star. Not to say anything against Angelo Dawkins, because, I mean, that brother is definitely with it. But when it comes to Montez Ford and the shit he talks, he'll probably be the next big shit talker behind The Rock, as far as I'm concerned, because, I mean, he's got that kind of caliber.
He's got that kind of charisma, but I think he still has got a little bit to go before he reaches The Rock.
He's I know.
Up there.
But he's on his way. He's on his way, because
he
talks shit. He talks shit so smooth, and then you'll be figuring out, like, wait a minute, hold on, what the fuck did he just say to me? Like, you'll get the answer later and be like, yeah, I got you, bitch. But yeah, we still want the smoke.
Yeah. In an amazing main event, we saw Zayn, Fatu, and Jimmy defeat the MFTs. And Jacob was the center point of that match, as it turned to complete chaos as a six-man tag.
Oh,
so, yeah. Like that, Jacob, yeah.
Listen, that match was beautifully executed, okay? Right. I mean, it was like, there was no questioning about it, because that was one of, like, I'll put it to you like this. When you run those type of matches on that 3-3 aspect of everything of what's going on, bro, it's like you can't tell. Like, sometimes you could tell story-wise if you know the match is gonna go, yeah, we already know that this is gonna win, and this guy is gonna win here. But this particular match, we don't know who the fuck was fixing to walk out with that winner. And I believe in wrestling unpredictability because you still gotta have enough shock value to just twist it in and have yourself keeping invested. That was the first time last night I had seen a SmackDown like seriously live in just a few weeks, and I was so tuned into it.
Okay.
Oh, but wait a minute.
Yeah.
What about that? What about that little exchange between Aleister Black and
R-Truth.
and
Oh, yeah,
R-Truth?
They're picking up their feud
Yeah.
again. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna be watching.
Woo! I want to see that fight next week.
They're addressing it, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
All right,
foot to
so
ass, man.
we're gonna close the wrestling segment with Dave giving us a little review of what he saw from AAA's Triple Mania yesterday, which was a pretty good show from what I saw on Facebook. Didn't get to see all of it myself, but what were your thoughts, sir?
I haven't seen all of it myself, but there was a lot of great stuff on display in Triple Mania, and I've kind of always been more of a fan of the wrestlers that are cruiserweights, the ones that are made for lucha. And seeing everything on display, seeing the whole spectrum of variety of lucha libre on display with Triple Mania, it was great. And I know that like a lot of other wrestling fans in America, this is kind of the way that WWE and Triple Mania and AAA are working together for the promotions has been spectacular. It got everything that we want. I mean, if you want extreme, the tag team match,
Street fight, yeah.
the street fight between Los Garza and Psycho Clown and Pagano was brutal from start to finish. Los Garza enter, get into the ring. Before they get into the ring, they go under the ring to pull out kendo sticks to take in with them. Psycho Clown and Pagano counter by going under the ring before they enter, pulling out kendo sticks wrapped in barbed wire.
Wow.
The tag team match ended with Beto Garza up on the top ropes, sitting down, getting a break. Pagano comes up with a roll of barbed wire, wraps it around first Beto's mouth, and then takes it all the way around. He wraps up Beto's upper body in barbed wire, and then goes to knock out Angel. And Psycho Clown comes in and does a super Spanish fly from the top rope on Beto. It was brutal. And the other interesting thing is that apparently Psycho Clown has his own posse that's like Twisted Circus Clowns.
Nice.
And I'm just thinking, now that is an epic event. The Psycho Circus versus the White Six.
And that would be some good shit.
Yeah.
That would be some interesting stuff.
The opening match was the Copa de Bardal, which they did it more like a traditional Royal Rumble than what I understand the Copa de Bardal rules are, because it's still, start off with two, every 90 seconds someone comes in. But Copa Bardal, supposedly, as I understood it, you also have the option of putting someone down for the 3 count.
Okay.
You eliminate them. Nobody got 3 counted. Everyone got tossed over. But it put, I think, like half the LWO was involved in there. And we got Otis back for the first time. Otis got involved in there, and the crowd was loving Otis in there. The cool thing was that um, this was lucha in all of its diversity and spectrum on display. Uh, one of the entrants in later on in the Copa match was um, Pimpernel Escarlata, who's an exotico, basically transgender wrestler. So, guy dressed as a woman,
Yeah.
and they go in, and all of a sudden you've got this mini romance in the ring between Escarlata and Otis,
Otis.
where he's putting on he's putting on his full gentleman airs in there. I mean, he's taking the kisses from her, he's bowing to her, and they do partner, and then of course Otis accidentally knocks her out over the rope, which was like, aw. And then the crowd favorite was Microman, which is a midget wrestler, literally like 3 foot high. And he gets in there, he does great. And all of a sudden, he's now Otis's wrestling partner in the Copa, where Otis lifts him up and is using him as a striker to knock people who went up but still on the apron off. In the end, the last entrance was by Omos, who you thought Tonga was tall. This
Oh yeah,
guy
Omos is like 7'4".
Yeah,
Yeah,
this guy
Omos is huge.
So Omos was the eventual winner of the Copa, but it was a great display for him and sadly he wins literally by tossing Microman over the ropes to the floor, but I think it was Cruz and someone else were there to catch him, so he landed on them. So, good.
Yeah.
But I can see Omos facing off against Tonga in there.
Gotta be a hell of a match.
Yeah, really, it was all really great. The announcing was Corey Graves with Conan and JBL.
Okay.
And what was really great is that Graves got to play the Michael Cole announcer,
Yeah.
the one who's trying to call everything fairly, and he's just getting heat from Conan and JBL about conspiracies and blah blah blah, and they're praising the absolute viciousness of certain wrestlers in there, and
Okay.
yeah,
I'll probably check it out. It's going to be on the WWE YouTube for a while.
for a while, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Definitely check it out. The mixed tag team was really great because that was Raquel, Finn, and JD McDonough from the Judgment Day versus Lolita Vice and Octagon Jr. and Mr. Iguana.
Mr. Iguana.
Yeah, I like that guy, man.
And
That guy is a piece of work, man.
And what we end up having is we have with JBL making cracks about how he went to an iguana farm and found Layeska's brother and sister and made a pair of boots out of them, and then he went to a burger joint and had iguana burger made from Layeska's mother. So
only JBL, gotta love that
JBL,
guy.
yeah,
Ultimate heel commentator.
But so Mr. Iguana's in the ring. He's got Layeska out there, and then Finn had come in with something under a black AAA hood, and he reveals it, and it's El Demonico, which is like a demon puppet. And all of a sudden, everyone's like, "Oh my God! It's El Demonico! It's the curse and everything!" And so you had an in-ring puppet fight: El Demonico versus Layeska.
A demon pup? Huh?
Yeah. It looked like think like Jobu from Major League,
Yeah.
Okay.
Only like crank the evil vibes up to 11 and tear the knob off.
Uh. Oh.
So it was really great. It was great, and like I said, it showed all the diversity that is there in AAA and all the potential that WWE can tap into. One of the guys in the Copa match was named Taurus. He wrestles with a full bull and horns, bull mask
Oh my
with
God.
horns on it. Yeah, and I'm like, and he does spears too. I'm like wondering, how are you not killing people in there?
Well, I'm
And
pretty sure there's a
still
safe
keeps
way
it,
for him to
yeah,
do
oh
it.
yeah, and the horns still keep their form.
Yeah.
So whatever the costume design is, it's fantastic. Um, but yeah, lots of great wrestling on display. Go watch it as soon as you can. Um, I got to the introduction of Conan into the AAA Hall of Fame
Yes.
by Rey Mysterio, um, who and I found out, I didn't realize this, but Conan is Dirty Dom's godfather.
Yeah. He was
Oh.
really close, really close with
Oh
Eddie
yeah,
Guerrero. Yeah.
yeah. So
Eddie was like basically like, yeah, they came up together in Mexico.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
but and I also love that one of the things that AAA and Lucha Libre does very well, I think, is they mix multiple wrestling cultures
Yeah.
within Lucha Libre, because like Dragon Lee, Ray Phoenix, um, Penta, they've got the masks that obviously have the Mexican heritage inspired, but also they've got the Oriental touches from their time in New
Oh yeah, Japan.
Japan
Oh yeah.
in there. So it's really a wonderful blending of all these wrestling cultures coming in and doing in there. And
Yeah.
the match between Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. and Mesa, who was Dr. Wagner Jr. Is the original, his kind of nemesis in there, and so it was a generational fight. But the son fighting his father's foe, and you had Hio the Dr. Wagner Jr. in civvies down the front row, and he gets involved
Yeah.
because you got El Mesa's manager companion, who's basically kind of dressing almost like Latino Jimmy Hart
Yeah.
in there, and he's doing interference. El Hijo goes up onto the top rope, gets set up for something. The manager starts interfering, and Dr. Wagner goes in, jumps the barrier to get in, and he starts tossing fists because he ain't having none of that against his kid.
There you go.
Yeah. And it was lots of really good storytelling, great wrestling. This is going to be this is going to be the matchup in terms of partnership that really is going to help keep WWE up top for the next decade plus.
You think so?
And I think so, because they're bringing in innovation, they're bringing in fantastic characters and storylines into there. They've got a lot richer pool to dip in, and I think that the next stage is TKO maybe acquiring New Japan Wrestling, so they can bring in some of that crew into the mix.
I think they could develop a partnership with New Japan,
Right.
a la what they're
Or
doing
that,
with TNA. But that New Japan that's so ingrained in over there. WWE's not purchasing. TKO would not be able to purchase New Japan altogether. Not down in the idea of them working with New Japan, considering New Japan was one of the first foreign promotions that WWF ever did business with back in the days of it being WWF. 100%, though, I would love to see a New Japan.
Yeah, New Japan is.
I believe in New Japan is actually currently contracted to work with AEW, unfortunately. And so I doubt it'll happen anytime soon, but I would love to see them working with them the same way that they're working with TNA. Because like WWE, last subject real quick that I'll just throw out there before we go, before we move forward, because we're running a little long. WWE is actually trying to help TNA get a network television deal themselves on a WWE affiliated network. So we're thinking either Peacock or in USA or
ESPN
Netflix
Plus.
or something. ESPN.
Which
Yeah.
that's like that's why the deal that Nick Khan announced last week about they're splitting, SmackDown's moving from Peacock to ESPN Plus. It's like, no, just bring it all to Netflix.
Well, actually, first and foremost, if you get a VPN and you look at the everything outside of the United States, it is all on Netflix.
Okay.
But what they're doing is it's just going to be a few select pay-per-views on ESPN. It's not going to be every single pay-per-view. I think the pay-per-views are probably either going to Netflix. The rest of the pay-per-views are either going to Netflix or they're going to remain on Peacock. SmackDown is remaining on Peacock along in the USA network.
Okay.
NXT moved to CW, but you can watch the CW app for free and watch the NXT stuff.
Okay.
And then what else was it? And then Raw is staying on Netflix. So so really it's just Netflix, ESPN for a few pay-per-views, and then Peacock that you would really have to have in order to be able to watch everything. And like I said,
But
watch
which
wrestling.
pay-per-view?
That it's probably the big four. It'll probably be SummerSlam, Survivor Series. This is me just pulling shit out my ass, by the way. I've seen nothing about this. But SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, and Royal Rumble. All the 2-night events will probably be on ESPN.
Just a quick question. Why is WrestleMania in Vegas again?
Yeah.
They were supposed to go to New Orleans.
There was something about with New Orleans that there was a glitch and they decided to bring it back. I believe it's still going to be in New Orleans at some point, but I forget what the whole story is as to why it got changed. I'd have to look it up on Google to tell you why it actually got changed to back to Vegas again.
Well, we'll get the opportunity to try to go this time.
Not at $10,000 for a ground level seat. Yeah, no, I'll watch it.
I'll take the experience.
So again, $10,000 for a seat, not even worth the experience. Like if it was $10,000 for 4 seats and the whole experience, I'm down to pay $10,000 for the whole package. But $10,000 just for the seat to one night, no, they can kiss my ass. I'll watch it at home. I'll say the only reason why I went to WrestleMania when I went is because the tickets were only $200 and we were in the nosebleed.
Yeah.
We basically watched all of WrestleMania on the Titantron above the ring. All right, so let's get to that answer for the pop culture quiz question. Come on, gentlemen, give it to me. You should know this. What was the name of Michael Jackson's pet chimpanzee?
Lancelot Link.
Bubbles.
Bubbles. Yeah.
Bubbles is the correct answer.
Lancelot Link. That was good, though.
That was a good one. All right, guys. So that takes us into our final segment of the night, which is all. All right, video games. All right, so we'll open up with the last question of the day. Who is the best-selling solo artist of all time? Gentlemen, hold your answers for the end of the segment. We will open up this segment. Dave, take us away with one of my favorite retro 8-bit retro consoles. Is getting an HD remake this month, and it could be killer for casual players with physical collections.
Yes.
What is this?
All right. So, Saint, what do you guess the console is? And I will warn you that it's actually not an 8-bit console, which kind of threw me off when I was reading about this.
I don't know. To be remade?
Yep.
The only thing, it would definitely have to be probably was something from Sega.
Nope.
And I have no clue.
It is the TurboGrafx 16, also known as the oh, what was it released in Japan under like the PC? But there is a, company called Hyperkin, which does parts for retro consoles. Like you can't find a thumbstick switch for your original Xbox console. They've got stuff like that. They've got stuff to bring old consoles and make them compatible with newer TVs, like the red, white, yellow input to HDMI converter,
Right.
all that stuff. But this was announced in 2020. It's a emulation-based retro, but there'll be PC Engine. That was the Japanese name.
Yeah.
But they are going to it's going to be an emulation, but it's also going to take, if you still have some of those Hudson cards, it'll take the original HU cards. It's
Okay.
called the Retro NGX. You can pre-order it now for $100 at Amazon, and it's like a little palm-sized, almost looks like the PS1 because it's got the square console with a circle in that looks like the CD, but it's not. And then you have the Hudson card slot in the middle and one controller slot.
Of course, the one controller slot because, well, we didn't. Nobody. Well, no,
Oh, I
I'll
had
take
the-
that back. There
I
was,
had
there,
the turbo tap. I had the turbo tap for mine.
yeah, that was
So-
never a big. That was never a big deal for me.
Yeah, no, it was. I loved my TurboGrafx. I got the games on it that I wanted. Dungeon Explorer.
Bonk!
I didn't really like Bonk. I liked Keith Kurz, which was the standard. Keith Kurz.
I only wanted one Street. The only game
Yeah.
I really had interested in was Fighting Street, and of course, we know that was Street Fighter, but
Yeah.
a
Okay.
whole different,
Splatterhouse.
different name. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I played just about all the games that came out for TurboGrafx 16. But I
Utopia.
originally bought it for their like Monday Night Football game that they had before NFL 2K5 or NFL 2K came out, and it had the Chris Berman halftime show and
Yeah.
and all of that, and the post game show and all that. TurboGrafx 16 had a game, a football game and a baseball game. that
I
both
remember
had
that.
realistic TV sports look to them, and it had the announcers and the post game and the pregame. That was the reason why I got myself a TurboGrafx 16.
Yep.
But I played all of it, Bonk's Adventures, all of those games when I had it.
Yeah. Yep. That was one of my first purchases from my first real job. It came to, it was a decision between the Sega Genesis and the TurboGrafx 16. And I think was PS1 on the market then?
Yes.
No, it was
I
around
say
that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I decided, well, Sega system kind of failed. Sony keeps stepping on its own foot on so many things. I'll give the TurboGrafx 16 a try. So,
I'll be honest with you. It's funny with me. I actually traded in my Sega Genesis, my Sega CD, a TurboGrafx not TurboGrafx 16. What was the one that the one that upgraded the graphics on your games? And you stuck it in the 32X.
yeah, the 32X.
A 32X plus at least an 8-game collection and 4 controllers
Wow.
to GameStop, and barely got enough store credit that I was $10 short of purchasing Triple Play 98 when
Oh,
it first came out. After trading in all of that, I was still $10 short of purchasing Triple
you
Play.
young kids just don't know the pain.
Yeah, I do. I do. Trading in. like when
I
like
said
when the
young
Super
kids.
Nintendo.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was young kid. Even young adults.
Yeah.
In the gaming. Come on, man. You
Here's
know
one
when.
for you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
you know
Here's
when you
one.
traded in. You know when you traded in. Because I'll never forget me and I know Double K. I know. Come on, me and Double K and Dirk Suave and Abdul. We had this case of about maybe 300 PlayStation games. We divvied up the games that we wanted and we traded in the bullshit. When we went
Well,
across the street,
yeah, there was a place across the street. I can't think of the name of it. It was on
it
this
was
film.
Mike's. It was this guy
Was it
named
Mike?
Mike's. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Mike's. When we went across the street, we traded in that stuff because it was. I think
He
it was for
actually
some
gave a fair
Dreamcast.
price.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, he
some
gave fair price.
Dreamcast shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Well,
it was some Dreamcast shit, and it was.
it had to be games because I got my Dreamcast, and I'm gonna hate to admit this. Hopefully, this doesn't come back to bite me in the ass at some point. It's out there, but I purchased my Dreamcast from an Asian woman that I worked with at Lions, who I worked with at Lions, who her son worked for like Electronics Boutique or EB Games or whatever it was over at Stone Ridge Mall, and he got me and my boy a Dreamcast. She got me and my boy a Dreamcast like when they were hot and like you couldn't find them hardly anywhere. She got us both one for $100 a piece. And we were like, yeah, all right, cool. Gave her the 100. Next day she showed up at work with 2 Dreamcasts. And I was like, all right, cool. And that's how I got my Dreamcast. Didn't go buy it in the store legally. Got it from some Asian lady that I worked with. Through her
Now
son.
I got it on a trade. I got it in on a trade in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I stopped trading my shit in once they gave me what they gave me for my Sega. I was like, fuck y'all. I just traded y'all literally an entire system, 8 games and 4 controllers. You're barely giving me like $40 in store
Yeah.
credit? Like in store
See?
credit?
Yeah, but
Like-
get this though. But I'm gonna tell you right now, not to just to pretend to like knock on wood. So check this out. The PS2s, right,
Yeah.
are fucking like they're starting to disappear, especially the first model ones, the fat ones,
Yeah.
because they can stick in hard drives and do all these wonderful things with them. Yeah, buddy.
Well,
Yeah, that's
we'll see what
some-
happens with it. All right, so we got a little bit off track there, but we'll move forward to the next one. Dave, take us away. More than
Okay.
50,000 Roblox players.
Yes, we have more bullshit from Roblox to talk about. So recently, Roblox banned basically a guy trying to expose the absolute cesspool of child sexual abuse that Roblox has become.
Yes.
So 50,000 players are petitioning for the CEO to be fired. The CEO, who is the brother of Roblox's creator. Yeah. So now, this is not just a moral panic thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Despite the fact that the Attorney General of Louisiana is filing suit against Roblox over this. We are talking about a platform that general estimates say has about 30 plus million players on the platform per day, with slightly more than half being users under 13.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we are talking about a platform that contains games on it that you can buy that are created by the individual players. That, one of them is Escape to Epstein Island.
Okay.
This is a huge problem in the gaming sphere. Okay, because
Oh yeah, it is.
we have it's become, like I said, it's become a hub of not just distribution of child porn, but also producing child porn. Because you've got these guys that are hitting up these younger players and saying, "Hey, how'd you like 10,000 Robux? Just give me a photo of your naughty bits."
No, no, no. There's no, it's a
Oh,
lot worse than this. Like,
yeah.
check this shit out. Like recently, we were me and Roxy were recently talking about the fuckery that's going on with all of these games that are created within the Roblox realm, and grown ass men, pissing on kids and shit like that, and just
Yeah.
some really undignified shit. And the thing about it is that and I'm gonna say this: I work in a fucking school,
Yep.
so let me fuck around and find out
Yep.
on some shit. I'm getting ready to take it to you. I wouldn't give 6 fucks. I work with kids.
Yep.
Come around and you fuck around, man, no. Hell to the no. When I found out about this shit, I was pissed.
Yep.
I don't blame you.
I can't even fuck around with Roblox under no circumstances
It is
whatsoever.
It is disgusting in every single
Hey, what's up, boy?
of the
Go ahead.
word, you know? And,
and especially, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, and especially as being military sound, that right there is that pushes the envelope when it comes to integrity. No, man, no.
Yep.
No. I would
Yep.
put a foot up somebody's ass behind some shit like that, bro.
Yeah. And there are,
And bury them, dude.
yeah. I mean, how absolutely profit over safety do you have to be when even Bloomberg magazine is talking about you and talking about the threat to child safety that Roblox has, it presents to it. And Roblox is like, oh, no system's perfect, and and they are actively blocking these investigations into. I mean, when they are allowing a game experience called Escape to Epstein Island, and it's allowed to be labeled all ages on the platform.
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain to people who are up in arms about the lawsuit. Oh, it's government censoring free speech and trying to get you to do your real ID, get your ID on. It's like, no, dude, this is the equivalent. The difference is advertising, putting up flyers, advertising your hard play S&M club in a college campus. And what Roblox is doing is putting those same flyers up in a junior high or elementary school.
Well, I'll close this segment and move this forward by saying this. This is why it's critical for parents to be aware of what's going on.
Exactly.
What their children are doing in an online environment, period. All right, so the next story that comes up is one that I found and that I find pretty funny. The title of the article says, Sony capitalizes on Twisted Metal show by continuing to let the game series languish in the void. I agree with this. Like, with the success of the first season, I figured we would have at least heard talks about a brand new Twisted Metal game for the new generation systems. Yep. But again, I guess Sony doesn't like making money.
So Sony's stepping on their dick as their typical business model.
Well, I don't know, because as a big fan of the Twisted Metal series, and I've played all of them, if it's not so much that, like, sometimes it could be success. It could be what do you call it? It's like sometimes you can fail being successful or some shit like that. Like, you know, you created a monster with this stuff, and it's like, as far as it is, you know, I'm pretty sure that the fans are going to make a mention, because I mean, we haven't had a Twisted Metal game since the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
Okay,
100%.
we haven't had a Twisted Metal game since the PlayStation 3, and you know that was definitely a good one. But I don't know, man. I think a lot of this right now is based off of Twisted Metal Black, like this particular
Series.
particular series, and I mean they need to do something with that. I really think that IP should really do something, because you know, like Axel, like one of my favorite characters is Axel, but also the car called Spectre, and that's it. When you got those invisible, I know you guys seen the shop around with the invisible missiles that were cutting through.
Yeah.
And fighting through. Yeah, that was actually my favorite weapon. Was the missiles that will cut through walls and will get you fucked up, bro, for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but tying in with talking about the Twisted Metal TV series, we have Fallout Season 2 will be released December this year.
Okay.
And we're going to New Vegas, folks.
Cool. Like you normally say about Tony, I was never really a Fallout guy. Yeah, I would say I would love to see a new Sleeping Dogs as well. Would like that. That's definitely. But yeah, wasn't really a Fallout guy. I've seen people play it. My boy Hob used to play it like fucking all day.
What, Fallout?
Yeah.
Oh my God, man! Fallout. Listen, Fallout is the shit. I think the first time I played Fallout was Fallout 3, like in that aspect, and to me that is still the best Fallout game. Period. Yeah. No, period.
Well, no, that's what I've heard from a lot of people that definitely love it.
Yeah, because the DLC was bananas.
Yeah. But no, and you know, some people like, or one of our commenters said that Twisted Metal is obsolete. I don't think so. I think there's a market out there for Twisted Metal. I think the show shows. I think this popularity of the show shows that if they did another game and did it right, I think you could very much like reinvigorate the Twisted Metal franchise as far as from a video game.
As a video game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but then you know you got to think about. You know, this is, and I kind of disagree with, what'd you say the name was? What? I kind of disagree with that, because the car combat will never, ever completely die. You know, there's still a bit, and then on top of that, I mean, you got to go figure the PlayStation Plus. There's a nice, rehash where Twisted Metal 2, of course, we all know is the best Twisted Metal game ever. Yeah. Like that in itself is the business. Twisted Metal 1, 3, 4, Twisted Metal Black, and then you have Twisted Metal, which was on the PS3, and it was more open world, but you were still killing people. Okay. And I honestly think that, we can bring, if we can bring the PlayStation 3 Twisted Metal to come that together, I think that we need to, reignite that. Yeah, we need to bring it back as a remaster, and then, get it figured out, and then possibly remastering and, redoing the original PlayStation or the original PlayStation versions of Twisted Metal, because that is
Well,
some of the most imaginable shit ever.
I'll say it like this. I can see a remaster, but where we part ways is I would like to see them develop a new story and do a brand new Twisted Metal game. Like it can be tied to the original 3 or 4 if you want to tie it to, or you can start over brand new. It's been so long since the last Twisted Metal was
Well,
released. Just starting over from the beginning could do you much better than rehashing a lot of the stuff, because you're trying to bring in a new audience to Twisted Metal as opposed to bringing back the people that played it when they were in their 20s. So developing a brand new, kind of like what they did with Tomb Raider. Instead of going back to the old Lara Croft and just falling back on that, they developed a new story with the new characters. I don't know if her name is still Lara Croft or not.
No, it's still Lara Croft.
With the new Lara Croft and kind of a new way of looking at things. I think they can do the same thing with Twisted Metal. There's so many different ways you can go with that post-apocalyptic world.
It's a possibility.
You don't even necessarily have to tell the story of the tournament. You can tell the story similar to how the story is being told in the series from a more personal point of view.
Okay, and I'll give you that, because I will tell you this, and it's kind of like Val Kilmer is Batman, and then all of a sudden, fucking George Clooney shows up. Like when Twisted Metal, like 1, 2, 3, Black, Twisted Metal 4, they changed it over, and Sweet Tooth took over the tournament, and it's kind of like it fell on dead crickets, because Calypso listen, in Twisted Metal 1 and 2, and if you guys follow the mythos of it, or if you guys have really watched it, and for those that are the fans, like that wish, you literally have to figure out, you gotta take that shit into context, because the words are, as you say, are twisted.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
Well, okay, here's what I say. Like Wood asked in the thing, what can you do differently with the gameplay? I think you change the gameplay altogether. The first 4 or 5 games were solely about the tournament. Now you make it about the shit that goes on outside of the tournament. You see
I don't know if that could work.
And I think it could. I think if you tell the story correctly, I think the show is showing you, if you tell that story correctly, because the show isn't completely about the tournament. The tournament highlights the show, but the show is really about John and his relationship with Quiet and what's going on there. That's what the show's about. And so the tournament is kind of a backdrop or a scene where that happens. I think you could do the same thing with the gameplay. You give yourself a character who's entering the tournament, but the tournament is the backdrop to everything that's going on with him. It's not the primary focus of the game.
Exactly. So, that's what it is. Each of the characters, such as Mr. Grimm, you had Axel, you had Outlaw, you had I forgot, I can't remember, Gravedigger. I remember one of the dolls, because they were all like in Twisted Metal Black, they were all locked in an insane asylum. Right. But they had each one had their own individual story to tell, because it was all about that wish.
Right, and I get that. But what I'm saying is that instead of having these 8 characters and they all have their own individual stories, you whittle it down to one character and his story or her story. You see what I'm saying? Instead of making it, again, the gameplay, the game itself, the mechanics of the game were primarily about that fun sandbox gameplay of 18 different cars all trying to kill each other for this one goal. Okay, for throughout this tournament for this one goal. Now you take that and you make it a backdrop. You do still compete in the tournament levels and the rounds and all that. You even bring back Calypso if you want to as your primary bad guy. You still go through the tournaments and the rounds, but now the stuff in between is less about fixing your car up and more about you tooling around the town that you're in for this particular round of the tournament, talking to other drivers, doing things like that. and just developing a whole story arc outside of the tournament for oneself. I think it could sell. I think that the show proves that because the show is structured like that. You see what I'm saying? The show is structured that you're more concerned with the story of John and maybe John and Quiet than you are with the tournament. The tournament is kind of a bonus to watching this character grow, as opposed to the tournament being the whole reason why you're watching or playing the game. But that's just my idea. You know what I'm saying? But if you make it, give me my motherfucking video game check. Anyway, I got video proof right here. I was the first to come up with it. Anyway, what I'll say. But yeah, no, I can definitely see that. But fellas, we are again running long. Just keeping us on time. We'll get to the pop culture quiz question, and then we'll close out with where can we find you next? Who's the best-selling solo artist of all time? Anybody care to take a shot?
It used to be Elvis Presley.
And it used to be Michael Jackson, but I think right now the best selling is right now probably is Beyonce
or Taylor.
Tay-Tay, huh? You say Tay-Tay Tinkers? Well, unfortunately, the guys at the quiz shop did not agree with you. You're probably right. They're probably wrong, so I'll give you the point. But Elvis Presley was the answer we were looking for. But like I said, I'll give you the point. No, it wasn't Tay-Tay. Michael Jackson, yes, was at one point. He was. Mozart, the best-selling solo artist, only if he dropped that shit today. I think he would. All right, y'all. So now we'll go.
Okay, here's what I'm going to. Who was the original American rock star?
Chubby Checker.
Little Richard.
Yeah.
Mr. Scott Joplin.
Really?
With those piano rags of him. He was a sensation. And he literally sold his compositions were the first popular music to be sold for player pianos.
Just real quick.
Maple Leaf rag. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Dude, no, the Maple Leaf rag.
Tech Tinkers.
Yeah.
AC/DC would not fall under that because they are a group. Who is the best solo artist, selling solo artists?
Yeah.
AC/DC is a group. Would not qualify. Sorry. All right, so now we go into our favorite final section. All right, Saint, kick us off. Where can we find you next?
All right. I'll be back on tonight because this is the final late night show. I'm still going to be streaming PS2 games tonight. I'm probably going to start off with the game called Urban Reign. But no, actually, I'm probably going to run a little bit of Street Hoops because I finally did get a basketball game, but I'm still waiting for my
Hey, what's up, CJ Manning?
Hey, what's going on, CJ?
Hey, CJ.
I think we're going to be probably running NBA. I know we're going to be running NBA Street on Tuesday, but I'm just going to be running PlayStation 2 games. We don't know which one in particular, but it'll be the lead.
There you go.
No music tonight, just gaming, straight, pure gaming.
There you go. And Rune Squire, what you got going on over there on the night shift? Go for it.
Lay down a little Marvin Gaye for me there. Yeah. Or no, it's not Marvin Gaye. Who was that?
You should know that, Saint.
What?
The Night Shift. Who was on that song?
That was the Commodores.
Commodore. Yeah. Thank
That was
you.
Commodores.
Yeah.
There you go. A resident musician there. A resident music expert.
But I will be back on tonight. Back on Spider-Man 2. Things are getting back to functioning around here, so I need to get back to announcing my schedules on our Facebook page.
For sure.
Yeah, we're and ladies and gentlemen, we are really we are really trying. Like this summer has been a little bit unpredictable, as it were, and we are getting our channel back in high demand. It's just that we're busy, we're rebuilding and so forth, and
It's
it's
fluid.
good.
as Steve
Yeah,
Smith would say. Fluid.
it's definitely on point. Cheap Pop. We might be getting ready to get a couple of interviews coming in pretty soon. Definitely going on with Now versus Then. We're gonna get a little more visual presence with Runes Crier, hopefully sooner than later.
Okay,
know.
real.
I'm
Before
messing with him.
Before I go over on my thing, I'll answer this quick question from Wood. Graphics are plateauing. We're getting to about as real as we can get as far as realistic content, and computers are getting better. I think the next step is VR, and I think we're already there with the Oculus and things like that. We're already there with VR. So I don't think they're plateauing per se, but I don't think outside of getting it to the point where in a VR game, when somebody touches you, it genuinely feels like they're touching you, in which I don't need that level of realism. Like, other than that, like, I don't think there's much else that they can do.
I don't need to feel taking that Hadouken to the chest.
Yeah. So like,
Hadouken to
other
the
than
chest.
that, I don't think that they're necessarily
Hadouken!
I don't think they're necessarily plateauing. I just think that we're getting to the point to where home consoles really aren't going to get any better than what they are, and
Right.
in order to run anything better, you're going to need something a lot more powerful.
They will get better in terms of graphics, in terms of photorealism, but
Yeah.
they will not get better. Modern consoles already surpass the capability of the human eye in terms of frames per second. The human eye only recognizes, I think it's something like around 60 frames per second. That's the upper limit of our visual acuity. And games are now running at like 80 or 20 frames per second. No, we ain't doing that.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm always going to have the most recent system. I have a PS5 and Xbox Series S now. I look at my games like EA College Sports 25.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really, like, there's some things that they can fix with the animations as far as gameplay, but as far as realistic looking, there's not really much more you can do with it. Like it's pretty much
the flow of the graphics,
right.
The flow of the animation. That's we're maxed out. But the detail, the ability, like, you're going to have video games that you're not going to be able to distinguish from watching a movie in terms of the level of detail.
Hold on. Well, I don't know, because my thing is this. Graphics, and I'll say this, that you have some of the most graphically sound, beautiful graphics and all that kind of stuff. And my thing is that for me personally, on some real shit, it's all about the gameplay mechanics. If that shit, like, you could have some choppy fucking graphics and look like some stuff and be like, ooh, but at the same time, if the gameplay is fucking great, oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, and like I said,
I'm all about gameplay, man.
I'll put it to you like this, and I always say it best with this little story about my dad. We'll wrap it up with this before I get my where can you find me next. My dad, I was playing Madden. I believe this was Madden 25. Either Madden 25 or it was Madden 14. I forget which one it was. But it was 25. It was in 2015, whichever one that one was. And I'm playing it, and my father walks into the room, looks at it, walks back out, stops, turns back around, walks back into my room and goes, "Is that you playing? Or are you watching the Niners game?" I was like, "That's me playing, Dad." And he's like, "Things get more realistic looking every damn year." And he just kind of mumbles his way out of my room. But it was insane, because when you look back at it, and I look at watching a regular basketball game, look at NBA 2K. You will go back and check one of my streams from this stream from NBA Wednesday. If I didn't tell you that you were watching a video game, there's a good chance you may not know the difference. And so, and I think that's good. That's good, though. He said game production companies are crying because people want realism, but it's taking them years to produce it. I'm good with that. I've always been one that I've said, give me a new Madden every 5 years. In the 4 years in between, just give me roster updates. Do the same thing with NHL. That way you give yourself a 5-year development cycle on new games. You're not trying to crank out games every single year. We don't need a new game with slightly better graphics. And in these common days, it's not even slightly better graphics every single year. Because it's like, no, it shouldn't sell for $500 a title. Why would it? Because they're basically trying, it should be selling for more now then, when they're forcing development cycles into 1 year as opposed to 5 years. You can literally take longer to work on the game than you would if you did it short. So if they go up to 500, I don't see it. I think Tech Tinkers is off the hook. Anyway, so all right. So before we're about to, I guess we're on ad right now, and we'll come back from it in a second here. But yeah, that's just my thought. It's like a development cycle of 5 years, give them more time to work on the game, gives people jobs for longer. You don't, and the production cost on the game isn't probably going to be anything more than what it is now. It'll just be spread out over 5 years instead of being forced into 1 year. But anyway, where am I at this evening? I will be on in about an hour and 20 minutes for the classroom with Swab and O'Malley. They both confirmed. So we'll be talking NBA, NFL preseason, everything sports. And then as far as the video game tip for Dark Lord 100 Plays, on Tuesday for more EA Sports College Football 25. And actually, I may make an announcement today. I'm thinking about it. This may take effect next week. I may take a break from Final Fantasy VIII to build up some things so I can go back and beat Ultissima with a little bit more ease. So I might be playing Sonic the Hedgehog on next week's Retro Saturdays. We'll see.
Oh, really?
We'll see. Yeah.
Okay, give me a second here.
So
give me a second. But yeah, we should be getting ready to start. Well, we already started our premiere with MVT Deuce, and so we kind of kicked off this, sort of kicked off the next season. But I'm looking at for us in September to be like really doing a lot of good stuff, man.
Okay, well, keep in touch with us, whether you're watching on YouTube for First GenXers or WKRP Network. You're watching on, or you're watching on Twitch. We want to say thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. Saint, you got us all?
Yeah, hold on. I'm waiting for you now. I'm waiting for something right now. Give me a second.
Okay. So yeah, guys, you can find me, like I said, me on Dark Lord 100 Plays between 10 and 12 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and between 1 and 2 on Saturday. It's Retro Saturdays. Dave, midnight on what nights, Dave?
Sunday, Monday, Friday, Saturday.
There you go.
And I'm Tuesday. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays and Saturdays is alternate.
There you go. And then also, before we raid out, check out the website, 2KK2network.com. You can find just about everything for everything here there as well. And check out Tech Tinker's website, techtinkers.com as well. He's a fan of the show, so we'll give him a shout out real quick.
And he's my tech dude. He's my tech guy. So
we need to go return the favor.
He would love it. He would love it.
I know.
All right, Saint, we were good to go?
All right, we're good.
All right, peace. You know.
Peace.